and third place at the World Championship in Kona, Hawaii. From Bruxelles, Germany is 1997 Ironman World Champion Thomas Hell on Wheels Hellriegel. One of the foremost cyclists of the sport, Thomas has won Ironman New Zealand, Ironman USA, Ironman Lanzarote twice, and Ironman Canada. Also from Germany, 37-year-old Jürgen Zach. Now Jürgen has won Ironman Europe an amazing 5 times. He's also won Ironman Australia and has been Ironman Austria champion twice. Zach was second here in Frankfurt last year, and he finished second to Hellriegel in the 1997 championships in Hawaii. From Pforzheim, Germany is Norman Stadler. In 1994, Norman was World Duathlon champion. Then in 2000 and 2001, he was back-to-back Ironman Australia champion. Norman's best finish in Hawaii was 2000, when he took third place. Now Stefan Holzner from Bad Reichenhall has Ironman victories going back to 1995, when he won his first Ironman New Zealand. He followed that with another New Zealand victory in 1996. Ironman Austria champion in 98, his best finish in Hawaii, 20th. In the women's race, we have one of the most dominant women of the sport, Canadian Laurie Bowden. In 1999, Laurie was Ironman World Champion, and she followed that in 2001 and 2002 with 5 more wins in Australia, Austria, and her native Canada. In 2002, she was runner-up in Hawaii, and she finished third last year. And there's Germany's Nina Kraft. She burst onto the Ironman scene 2 years ago with victories in South Africa and at Ironman Europe. In 2001, she was also third in Hawaii, and last year she finished second. So, with such a remarkable field, the stage is set as we get ready now for the start of the 2003 Opel Ironman Germany. It's just before 7 a.m. as the sun hits the waters of the Langener Waldsee, about 12 miles south of Frankfurt. Just under 1,800 athletes from 11 countries enter the chilly waters of this spring-fed lake. The main highway from Frankfurt closed since 5 a.m. to allow the 15,000 plus spectators to get here and cheer for their friends, family and heroes as they now prepare to set out in what has been referred to as the day.
Auf die Plätze, fertig, los geht's!
With the firing of the cannon, the day begins. A day that for some will be over in 8.5 hours, but for others, it'll be long after the sun has set before they see the finishing line. Pacemakers are 2 age groupers, Jan Sibertsen and Frank Arm. The top pros, Hellriegel, Reed, Brown, Holzner, as well as Nina Kraft sprint into the lead as the field spreads out across the Langener Waldsee. At the first turnboat, it is still Sibersen and Arn leading, and they're followed pretty closely by Ralf Eggert, Hellriegel and Uwe Widmann. In the women's race, it's Nina Kraft who's in the lead, and she's followed by Belinda Halloran of Australia. She's in second, while Nina Fischer of Germany is third. Laurie Bowden has fallen off the pace by about a minute.
Die Wettbewerbsleute sind, das ist ein Hinweis. Das ist gut, dass wir 6 Jahre Zeit
At the end of the first lap, it's Siversen who is still in the lead, being followed closely by On, Ralf Egert, Thomas Hellriegel and Ronnie Dietz. And so far, it's a German sweep of the swim. For the women, it's number 52, Nina Kraft, in the lead, and she's followed by Belinda Halloran right behind, being trailed by Nina Fischer, Katja Schumacher and Laurie Bowden.
Katja Schumacher im vergangenen Jahr auf dem Römerbalkon als Siegerin, 2 Uhr 6 im Präsident des Ironman Germany.
This is Phil Liggett welcoming you back to Frankfurt and the 2003 Opel Ironman Germany. The waters of the Langerneer Waldsee are churning now with the strokes and the kicks of almost 1,800 athletes swimming their way through the 2.4 mile swim. As he has from the starting cannon, Jan Siversen of Germany is still in the lead. Frank On is chasing, but falling back, as is Ralf Egert, Thomas Hellriegel and Ronnie Dietz. So a warm round of applause. The men's leader is out of the water, Jan Siversen, with a time of 44.29. Now, Jan is a fantastic swimmer. Last year, he was in first place after the swim in Hawaii. He led out onto the Queen K Highway and the lava fields. Once out there, he fell victim to a hard-charging Jürgen Zak. Now, Jan could be in a similar position here in Germany. The question is, will he be able to hold on through the 112-mile bike and the 26.2-mile run? Minutes and 58 seconds behind is another age grouper, Frank On from Hildesheim in Germany. His time, 48.27. And as the rest of the field begins to exit, it's Ralf Egert who is third, followed in close order by Thomas Hellriegel. Behind Hellriegel comes Ronnie Dietz, followed by Uwe Widmann. Behind him, Cameron Brown. Then the big man, Peter Reed. And behind Peter Reed, Marcel Zamora, Stefan Liebertrau. Finally, Stefan Holzner and the lead woman, Nina Kraft. Second place Frank On is away. As he mounts up, he's followed by Egert and Dietz, who has passed Hellriegel in transition. The lead woman, Nina Kraft, is in transition now with a swim time of 49.29, and she's in 12th place overall, and that really was an excellent performance. So Nina now heads to the exit. And Uwe Widmann departs in 5th place. And Uwe is hotly pursued now by Thomas Hellriegel and Peter Reed and Liebertrau. Then in a gaggle of athletes, it's Brown, Kraft, Zamora and Stefan Holzner as they too head towards Frankfurt. It's only 138.2 miles to go. Belinda Halloran is the second place woman, and she's followed closely by Nina Fischer. Having had his swim cap and goggles kicked off early in the swim, Jürgen Zach enters transition in a lowly 14th place and almost 7 minutes behind. Halloran and Fischer in a dead heat for second arrive in transition. Fischer here heads for a bike. And the two are just under 3 minutes behind Nina Kraft. Katja Schumacher, she's out in fourth. And Belinda Halloran gets underway, seconds behind Fischer. 2 minutes behind Fischer and Halloran, Schumacher arrives in transition. Earlier this season, Katja won Ironman Florida. But perhaps more importantly, she is the defending Ironman German champion. Norman Stadler is underway too, but he's over 7.5 minutes down. And there's Nina Fischer. Nina is closely followed by Belinda Halloran, and they are 2 minutes 50 now behind Kraft. With a swim of 55.41, Laurie Bowden arrives in transition 6 minutes and 12 seconds behind in fifth. Now, this is not a bad swim for Laurie, who's infamous for her deficits after the swim and the bike, only to make it all up on the run. And she'll have to do it all again this time as well. So the men's standings after the swim are Jan Sivertsen in first with a time of 44.29. In second, it's Frank Arn in 48.27. Third is Ralph Eggert, 48.59. And they're all followed by Thomas Hellriegel and Ronnie Deitz. And everybody is from Germany. So the women's standings after the swim are Germany's Nina Kraft in first with a time of 49.29. In second, from Australia, Belinda Halloran in 51.49. Third is Nina Fischer in 51.50. And fourth, the defending champion, Katja Schumacher. And fifth, but over 6 minutes behind, is Canadian Laurie Bowden. Now the chase is on the bike. We'll be right back. And welcome back. It's a beautiful day here at the 2003 Opel Ironman Germany, brought to you by Oahu, the island of Aloha. And the Sports Authority. Get out and play. And New Balance. Achieve. On the way now towards Frankfurt, the men's field is starting to sort itself out. Peter Reid, out of the water in 8th, has pedalled his way up into 3rd. However, Peter is not alone. This is Holzner, 11th out of the water, and is now right behind. And he's followed by Hellriegel and Eggert. And Reid is feeling the pressure from behind too. He reels in Stefan Liebertrau and moves up into 2nd place. Peter is not in 2nd for long. Here comes Holzner. He's passed Liebertrau with ease. And now moves in on Reid. to go up into second. Seems too that Thomas Hellriegel, fifth after transition, has now settled in behind Reed for the long day ahead. Norman Stadler, 7.5 minutes down, leaving transition, has also improved. He's now up into sixth. Now right in front of Stadler is a hard-working Jürgen Zack. Now Jürgen has won Ironman Europe those 5 times and would certainly like to put Ironman Germany in his win column. Frankfurt's futuristic skyline is on the horizon as the tightly contested men's race now leaves the swim and races out towards the bike circuit, which is covered twice, 52.5 miles each of the 2 laps. In the middle of the men's battle is women's leader Nina Kraft. Nina came out of the water in 12th place overall, almost 3 minutes ahead of her nearest competitor, Belinda Halloran. Halloran is known for her swimming, but now has to play catch-up as the women's field heads also towards Frankfurt. In third place, Nina Fischer. She came out of the water with Halloran, but has started to fall back. Katja Schumacher won Ironman Florida this past November. There's no doubt she would certainly like to win here in her native Germany. She is now just over 4 minutes back in 4th place. Having had a pretty good swim, 1999 world champion Laurie Bowden is just under 7 minutes down and she's still in 5th. Now, 15 miles north of Frankfurt, the course winds through the medieval streets of Maintal Hochstadt and a place locally referred to as the Hell. Ironically, Hell on Wheels, Thomas Hellriegel, has been leading the chase pack, but now is passed by fellow German Stefan Holzner. Holzner seems to fly by as the two negotiate these slick, rough cobblestones of the Hell. This picturesque bike course, I have to say, reminds me of the Tour de France, as the riders there would pass through small villages also lined with spectators. And once the tricky streets of the town are successfully negotiated, it's back riding through the cultivated fields of rural Germany. This certainly is not a boring bike course, and neither is it a boring race. There's still an awful lot at stake. We'll take a break, and we'll be right back. And this is Phil Liggett again, welcoming you back now to the 2003 Opel Ironman Germany. The bike section is in progress. And Jan Sibbersen has been leading now since the swim. But as in the lava fields of Owyhee here on the route between Ebenstadt and Freiburg, he is now being caught by another German. And this is Stefan Holzner. Knowing now that his swim lead has also been eroded, he can only wait for the inevitable next man to arrive on the scene. And here he is, 1997 world champion Thomas Hellriegel. Also breaking through onto the scene now is the former two-time world champion Peter Reid. Peter's followed by the German Stefan Liebertrau. Not far from Liebertrau, the three-time Ironman New Zealand champion Cameron Brown. The stars are coming. In the women's race, the leader is still the same. Nina Kraft has in fact lengthened her lead over both second and third place. What she started in the swim, she's living up to in the bike ride. Belinda Halloran has fallen back to third after having had a flat tyre just north of Frankfurt and was passed by Katja Schumacher, who's now up in second, and that happened just moments ago. The very exhausted-looking Nina Fischer has now slipped back to fourth and is in danger of being caught by Laurie Bowden. Now, Laurie has been maintaining fifth ever since the swim exit. She's gained on Fischer, Schumacher and Halloran, but has not been able to close on Nina Kraft. Now, one of the problems facing competitors in international competition is the travel involved. And here's 1994 Ironman World Champion Greg Welsh for a Timex technical tip.
This Timex technical tip is about travelling, tapering and jet lag. Well, you all know that there's a lot of Ironman triathlons out there to choose from, but if you're travelling stateside, you've only got to worry about 3 time zones. So 3 to 4 days arriving before the race is thoroughly recommended. Now, internationally, however, around about 7 days because it's a lot longer and there's more time zones and the jet lag is more prominent. Now, when you're travelling, hydration is the factor here. Dehydration, you want to avoid at all costs. Drink plenty of water. Avoid the alcoholic beverages until celebration day. Travel with a few power bars, energy bars, whatever you want to use there. It will be better than plain food, guaranteed. Reading material and listening material. You want to refresh your mind on a few of the tips by Rock Fry and Paul Huddle. It's all in that mini Bible. And don't laugh, but the blinders. Here we go. Get plenty of sleep and earplugs are recommended too. But best of all, travel with your own pillow. This may be my daughter's, but it's good luck. Good luck in the race, guys.
Well done, Greg. Well, I don't know if Laurie brought her lucky pilly with her, but maybe the fact that husband Peter Reid is also in the field has helped against jet lag. Now, not far behind Laurie and climbing over the cobblestones and through the crowds of Maintal Hochstadt is Tina Walter from Urbach, Germany. Chasing Tina, 30-year-old age grouper Claudia Frank from Rottach-Egern, also in Germany. But holding on to a comfortable 3-minute lead over the men's field is still Stefan Holzner. Now, Stefan's last Ironman victory was back in 1998 in Klagenfurt, Austria. His best performance since then, a second place in the Canary Islands event last year. As Holzner heads back towards Frankfurt and the end of his second loop, he's being pursued now by some of the top cyclists in all of Ironman competition. Thomas Hellriegel, Peter Reid, Stefan Liebertrau and Cameron Brown are all about 5.5 minutes behind. Welcome back to the 2003 Opel Ironman Germany, brought to you by Oahu, the islands of Aloha. And by Timex. It takes a licking, but keeps on ticking. Ironman Germany has stroked and kicked its way through the swim, negotiated its route to the fields and villages of Hessia, and now the leaders, after a little more than 5 hours, are approaching the bike-to-run transition, right in downtown Frankfurt. to big applause from the home crowd. The first to arrive in the bike-to-run transition is 35-year-old German Stefan Holzner, considered by some to be on the downside of his career. Well, Holzner has arrived in transition with nary a look over his shoulder. And I wonder what the German phrase for "catch me if you can" is.
20 Sekunden, meine Damen und Herren. Und wir sind gespannt, wie groß der Vorsprung ist und wer auf Rang 2 hier einläuft. Die Athleten jetzt vorbeikommen, gehen in die zweite Runde. Also noch nicht
While Holzner is negotiating transition, the trace group here of Hellriegel, Liebertrau and Peter Reid are wondering what their deficit will be when they get to transition. New Zealander Cameron Brown has also fallen off the back of the chase group and is now over 7 minutes behind Holzner. German Jürgen Zack, known for years as a cycling specialist, has fallen nearly 13 minutes behind. Also known more for the bike than the run, Norman Stadler is almost 13 minutes behind as well. Threading her way through some of the 400,000 plus fans surrounding the course is women's leader Nina Kraft. She's held the lead since the start at 7 this morning. Laurie Bowden has passed a faltering Schumacher and Fischer, while Belinda Halloran has had to withdraw due to 3 flat tyres. And moving into third is Tina Walter, 13 minutes and 40 seconds behind Kraft. Fourth place, age grouper Claudia Frank, but she is almost 15 minutes behind. Having faltered and been passed by Laurie Bowden, Tina Walter and Claudia Frank, Nina Fischer seems to have got a second wind and now moves up to pass fellow German Katja Schumacher, and they're on the way back towards Frankfurt. So as the women head back towards the main river and Frankfurt's men's leader Stefan Holzner is out on the run course, knowing he has 2 premier runners behind him, Reid and Brown. Leading the 3 bikes here into transition is Stefan Liebertrau. He's followed by Peter Reid and Thomas Hellriegel. Formidable challengers. Speed, organisation and attention to detail are critical to a smooth and fluid transition, especially if you're trying to make up more than 5 minutes, as these 3 are. Next in is one of the most respected runners in Ironman, Cameron Brown from New Zealand. Earlier this year, he eclipsed an over 10-minute lead held on him in Ironman New Zealand. Holzner, still on the first lap of his 3-lap run course, is leading Liebertrau, Reid and Hellriegel by just over 5 minutes. Brown is through transition now pretty easily and hits the run course at 7 minutes 45 behind the leader Holzner. Next in transition is Norman Stadler. And hot on his heels is Jürgen Zack. Hardly room to blink. This is Peter Reid. He's now past Liebertrau and is up into 2nd place. man Jürgen Zach spends only 57 seconds in transition and gets out of T2 9 seconds better than Stadler, but over 13 minutes behind Holzner.
Zweitschnellster Mann der Welt mit 7 Stunden 51 Minuten. Hinter ihm Norman Starker.
The men's standings after the bike race are Stefan Holzner is in first place with a bike time of 4:25.36 and an overall time of 5:17.14. In second, Stefan Liebertrau in 5:22.31. Then Peter Reid with a total time of 5:22.33. Thomas Hellriegel and Cameron Brown follow. Nina Kraft, affectionately called Nina the Machina, has dominated the women's race all day. While Laurie Bowden, who can usually be relied upon to regain some time on the bike, has fallen further behind, but still maintains her second place. And if there is a surprise this day, then it's Tina Walter, the mother of 4. She's now less than 30 seconds behind Laurie. And welcome back to Frankfurt am Main and the 2003 Opel Ironman Germany. For over 5 hours now, Stefan Holzner has been in the men's lead. He exited the water in 11th with a swim time of 49 minutes 27 seconds, and he followed that with a bike time of 4 hours 25.36. He went into the marathon with a lead of 5 minutes and 9 seconds over Peter Reid. Reid has since passed Stefan Liebertrau, and he's now in second place. Only 30 seconds behind Reid is the 1997 Ironman World Champion Thomas Hellriegel. Now, in the late 90s, the German athletes with their strength and depth were forecast to become the first Europeans to win the World Championship in Hawaii. Here's a moment in Ironman history, brought to you by New Balance.
A surprise greeted the experts in 1996 when a relatively unknown athlete from Belgium, Luc van Leerde, became the first European to conquer the lava fields of the Big Island. Luc was not only the first European, he was also the first rookie to do so, and in an unbelievable time of 8:04:08, with fellow European Thomas Hellriegel of Germany finishing second. In 1997, the forecast of a German onslaught came to fruition when Thomas Hellriegel, after being second in 1994 and 1995, crossed the finish line in first place. His time of 8:33:01 led to German athletes sweeping the top 3 positions, with longtime favorite Jürgen Zach finishing second 6 minutes back. And 5-time Ironman finisher 26-year-old Lothar Leder in third, with 2 more Germans, Holger Lorenz and Alex Tobert, finishing 8th and 9th respectively. Indeed, Germany had arrived in Kona.
Wonderful memories, and with the likes of Hellriegel, Holzner, Zach and Stadler, they are certainly a powerful force here today. Someone who wants to take this championship away from Germany and back home to New Zealand, though, is Cameron Brown, who has knocked almost a minute now off Holzner's lead. Neither one known for their great running ability. Jürgen Zach and Norman Stadler appear to be in a flat-out sprint, but still some 10 minutes back. Nina Kraft, in the lead for over 6 hours now, comes to the end of a 112-mile cycling odyssey. There hasn't been another leader all day. With a time of 5 hours, 3 minutes and 20 seconds added to her overall time, she's now been on the move for 5 hours, 54 minutes and 52 seconds, but still has the marathon run to come. Despite the high temperatures of 80 degrees, Laurie Broden has also been pushing hard, but has fallen to almost 15.5 minutes behind. Tina Walter is still surprising everyone, even her German compatriots, being only 30 seconds behind Broden. And now, out on the first part of the run course, Nina the Machina has to concentrate on staying ahead of one of the greatest women runners in the sport, the Canadian, Laurie Bowden. After the swim-to-bike transition, Laurie was 6 minutes down. With her bike time added to that, she is now down 15 minutes and 12 seconds. She has taken that amount of time back before, but can she do it again today? Well, the person who holds the answer to that is Nina Kraft. The question is, did she use up too much strength on the bike course? Fairly bursting out of the changing tent and what seems now newfound energy, Laurie heads out onto the run course. Less than 10 seconds behind her is the third place runner, Tina Walter. So the women's standings after the bike are Nina Kraft in first place with an overall time of 5:54.52. Laurie Bowden is second, 15:34 behind. Tina Walter, she holds on to third, just 35 seconds behind Bowden. Petra Schoenfield and Claudia Frank are fourth and fifth. Jürgen Zach, seventh after the bike, is making up enormous time on the run. He has dropped Stadler and Liebertrau and is now moving up on the rest of the field.
Fünfte Frau, die Zweitplatzierte des Vorjahres, Nina Fischer, jetzt kurz vor dem ersten Männer hier vorbei sind und wir sehen das begleiten.
And the Kiwi, Cameron Brown, is also on the move. He's passed Hellriegel, seen just behind him here, and now has his sights set on Peter Reid, less than 30 seconds in front. Peter Reid is now fighting to hold on to second place. He started just over 5 minutes down and has closed to within 4 of the leader. Meanwhile, Holzer, without an Ironman victory in 5 years, looks remarkably fresh here after holding the lead since the early part of the bike ride. And battling Thomas Hellriegel, 5 minutes 24 seconds down after the bike. He's now in fourth, but is about to be passed by legend Jürgen Zach. Legend? Yes, but not for his running. Usually Jürgen hammers the bike and makes do on the run. Is this a new type of Zach attack? We'll find out in a few moments when we return. Welcome back to Frankfurt and the finale of the 2003 Opel Ironman Germany. His lead cut now by 2 minutes. Stefan Holzner is digging deep to try and hold off the mounting pressure from a very formidable chase group. Cameron Brown, known for running the opposition down, has done that to Liebertrau, Hellriegel and Reid, but has only been able to cut into Holzner's lead by 2 minutes. Cameron is now just under 3 behind, but at least in second place. 37-year-old Jürgen Zach is showing what champions really are made of. He's moved ahead of Peter Reid and is third, while Nina Kraft is not folding. In fact, her split times for miles 13 and 14 are faster than miles 1 and 2. Laurie Bowden, on the other hand, appears now to be feeling the effects of Das Langenstag. She has dropped to over 17 minutes behind Kraft. Well, Tina Walter slowed a bit but is maintaining third place, although now 2 minutes behind Bowden. Having passed Frank and Schoenfeld, Nina Fischer has taken over control of fourth place, and she's about 8 minutes behind Walter. finish line in the Rommerberg, the second oldest square in Europe, is packed with thousands of spectators, all set now to welcome the winners of Ironman Germany 2003. And the victor of the men's race is Stefan Holzner of Bad Reichenhall, Germany. An estimated 400,000 spectators watched this event, and thousands have gathered here in the oldest part of Frankfurt to welcome home their new hero, Stefan Holzner. A swim time of 49.27, a bike ride of 4:25.36, and the fifth best run of the day, 2:54.12, Stefan has won the 2003 Opel Ironman Germany. He has a total time of 8:12.29. A formidable performance. And now let's hear from the champion.
Maybe I was dreaming to have another Ironman victory, but not in Frankfurt. I thought maybe in a smaller race, or I don't know. But like today, it was awesome.
Awesome was the word. Cameron Brown arrives in second with the second best run of the day. He could only close though to win 3:22 of the winner. Cameron's time, 8 hours, 15 and 51. In third, the grand old timer, Jürgen Zach. Today, Jürgen proved what legends really are made of, with the best marathon of the day. Zach is third in a time of 8:20.12. And in fourth, 1 minute and 47 seconds down, is the Canadian former world champ, Peter Reid. His time, 8:22 dead. And rounding out the top five men is Thomas Hellriegel. His time, 8:22.32. This was a close race. So the men's final standings in the 2003 Opel Ironman Germany are Stefan Holzner in first with a time of 8:12.29, followed in second place by New Zealand's Cameron Brown. Third, the German Jürgen Zach, followed by the Canadian Peter Reid. And Germany's Thomas Hellriegel rounded out the top five finishers. The fastest women's swim of the day, 49.29. The fastest women's bike of the day in 5:3.20. And the fastest women's run of the day in 3:7.17. There really was only one winner here. Nina Kraft has become the 2003 Opel Ironman Women's Champion. Almost breaking the 9-hour mark, Nina's winning time was 9:3.11 seconds. With Frankfurt's Rommerberg decorated to look like Hawaii, Laurie Bowden runs past rows of palm trees and through a gauntlet of thousands of admiring fans and spectators. She heads towards the finish. Laurie finishes in second place with a time of 9 hours, 22 minutes and 24 seconds. And mother of four from Erbach, Germany, Tina Walter, she finishes third. And she has a time of 9 hours, 27 minutes and 49 seconds. And in fourth place, Nina Fischer arrives. Her time, 9:39 and 2. So the women's final standings for the 2003 Opel Ironman Germany are: in first with a phenomenal time of 9:3 and 12 seconds is Germany's Nina Kraft. In second place, the former world champion Laurie Bowden from Canada, followed home by Tina Walter, Nina Fisher in fourth, and Katja Schumacher in fifth. This is Phil Liggett saying, hope you've enjoyed the coverage, and until the next time, goodbye.